I know you didn't get to coach him last year, but have you ever had a player like Jalen Foster, who was basically a scout team walk-on guy 2 years ago, and now pretty much on an All-American track, leading the country in interceptions?
Jalen has done a great job this year for us, just like we said last week, leading the defense and coming to work every single day, trying to get better. There's been some players in the past at other places, but Jalen's on a different level right now, at the highest level in college football, as far as the SEC, but definitely proud of how he's working. I'm proud of how he's bringing other guys along, being an influence to the other players on the defense and the football team.
Clayton, you've obviously this defense has forced a lot of turnovers of the first 4 weeks. Number one, how proud of this defense are you, and is that number sustainable as you get into the rest of SEC play and in the final 8 games of the stretch?
It's one of those things where you just want to keep harping on it as a football team. We do ball security drills as a team every single day, and every single day you'll hear Coach Beamer, myself, every coach, managers, everybody's yelling, punch the ball out, strip it out. Turnovers come in bunches, so we just got to continue. You got to go create them. So we just want to continue working on it. In some games you get some games you don't. So we just want to continue harping on that thing. That's one of our keys to victory as a club, and we're just trying to just keep working at it, man. Obviously, it's going to pay off in the long run.
Clayton, when you guys went back and graded out the tape this past week, what were some of the issues, especially with being able to stop the run? Because it seems like you guys do have that bend, don't break. You guys really tighten up in the red zone, but when you guys needed some stops, especially late in the game, stopping the run, what were some of those issues?
With this being a team sport, obviously we would have done anything to get the ball back to our offense, to give them opportunity. They was getting things rolling, and we kind of said it before when it was 10-16 as they were driving. We were saying, hey, let's get ready to go back out and get one more stop to win this game. And you just got to continue working on the things that you talk about. Obviously, we have to be great in our gaps. Got to be great at getting off blocks. Offenses these days do a great job of getting the math right for us, the run game. And we have to do a great job of changing the math, or however that may be, is getting off blocks or overloading the side. But we have to continue to keep playing team defense and team football. Obviously, to finish out that football game, it would have been great to get the offense back the ball.
Clay, what do you feel like the defense has done really well through the first 4 games? And what are some things you kind of just touched on a little bit? What are some things you'd like to see improve as you get into your final 8?
Some things that I feel like we can improve on to start out with is just, the communication through 4 quarters. We want to continue to harp on that every single play. We've getting better at that, but I do know that you can't take a second off on communicating with your teammate. We want to continue, obviously, getting the ball back as much as possible. We want to obviously improve our run defense and make sure we're not giving up big plays for touchdowns. That kind of hurt us the second and third game. We want to just continue to make teams drive, all right? And obviously, make them force field goals in the red zone. But things we got to definitely improve is definitely want to continue our tackling. We want to improve on our tackling, obviously improve our run defense. Don't like that number getting so high. It can kind of get the game kind of off whack.
Clayton, kind of like Colin was asking, is there anything that's maybe surprised you or been different or anything like that through the first couple of weeks? Anything you feel like you've learned over the first 4 weeks, either about yourself, about the defense, anything like that?
I mean, I know I've learned that these guys are fighters. These guys that they're going to go to the end. They're great on the sideline. They have great positive energy. Like I said, I think all this stuff starts from Coach Beamer, just how he just feeds to the sideline. I mean, he's all over the field. He's on our bench. He's on the offensive bench. And, we love that as defensive players, to seeing the head coach in our huddle getting us ready to go. And I think that I've learned that these guys, they love each other. They love football. They play hard as they can for Gamecock Nation and for us. And they want to win just as bad as everybody else do. So that's more things I've learned. But the football stuff, it's X's and O's, but it's really just trying to just learn the guys and learn and just find ways to win.
What have you seen from Troy through the film study you've been able to do, and how are they going to try to attack what you guys do defensively?
Well, Troy's they've done a good job. Coach Lindsey, they've done a great job of spreading people out. They're a spread offense. One tight end, sometimes 2 tight ends, but for the most part, they're going to be in a no tight end picture, and they get the ball all over the field. So we got to do a great job of matching up. We got to do a great job of defending the whole 53 1/3 of the field for its width. And our guys got to be great on understanding they have 3 or 4 good, really good running backs that they're going to try their best to find ways to run the ball. I think those guys are really good players. To me, it's just doing a great job of just understanding where we are on the field and the situation, and knowing that you're going to be spread out. So we got to be great up front. We got to be great out on the perimeter.
As far as giving up big plays through the passing game, how do you feel like that's gone for you guys? It seems like you're limited them pretty well for the most part.
Yeah, it does. It feels that way sometimes, but then when you're out on the field and it happens twice in one game, it feels like that's a ton, But we just trying to harp on that. I know that's a momentum kind of play, so we want to keep those off the scoreboard as much as possible. We just got to continue. That's a good trend to keep, So our guys understand it. Coach Gray does a good job of understanding concepts and teaching our guys just overall football 101 and 200 level football, just to where they can understand. They know when the shots are coming. They know what splits the receivers run their shots in, and they're just doing a great job of just understanding those kind of things, and it's led by Coach Gray. So,
and now that you've had basically 2 full games without Sherrod, how do you feel like it's gone with trying to kind of, I guess, pick up the slack?
Yeah, we miss Sherrod, man. He was a leader. He did his thing. I think those guys are obviously, we got 3 older guys, so that was good to have some older guys, now some younger guys having to step up for us practice reps and getting them tuned and getting them ready for the games, because somebody obviously else has to play now. But definitely miss him. But I think that's going well so far. It's been 2 games. I think those guys going to get better and better each day. That's the goal. This week was about race for improvement, so I think we're on that right track trying to get better.
What have you seen out of David? I mean, you mentioned not being able to give up a bunch of long pass plays. What have you seen out of David Spalding and Carlin Splittell specifically at that nickel spot?
Well, right now they're still learning the position. It's only 4 games and playing this position. And I think they're learning every single week because things are different every single snap or every we can game plan for a team, but the first half they're gonna come out and run something that they planned completely different that wasn't on tape. So I think those guys are learning the position. They're trying to get better of getting off blocks and And obviously the run game aspect of a nickel is just more as important as it is the pass game. So that's where I think we can improve. That's where I think that we will continue to harp on that with the nickel run game.
And there are a lot of guys playing better this season than maybe they have in years past on your side of the ball. Is there anything you can attribute that for all that, or is there something beyond that?
These guys are players, man. Those guys are players. I mean, they're hungry. From the moment the program came here with Coach Beamer, we told them that we want to have a play with a chip on our shoulder from day one, starting back in January 10th. Put the chip on your shoulder right now, and let's just see what happens. So we just want to continue to keep playing team defense, team football, and just see how things shake out in the end. The road's going to get tight and going to get tougher here, so we got to do a great job of just continue being mentally tough and physically tough on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Friday's mentally tough. Saturdays go out and play football. So they're just trying to. It's a race for improvement right now, and we on the right track. We just got to keep going. We can't stop. Thank you, guys. Have a good afternoon. See y'all.